Yeah.
It's working now. Okay.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our today's Wednesday seminar. I'm very happy to welcome our today's speaker, Deepak Prajapati from ISI Delhi. So he's one of us, a postdoc here. And before starting with the talk, I would like to request you all to keep your audio on mute. And there will be a question answer session at the end. Nevertheless, if you want to ask any question, please do it over chat and wait for a signal from our coordinator, Professor Isha Devan, before unmuting your audio. Welcome, Deepak.
Okay.
Let's start with the talk.
Hello, everyone. So in this talk, I will discuss some Bayesian sampling plans under different sensing schemes. The outline of my presentations are: first, I will discuss what is the acceptance sampling plan and what is the decision theoretic approach to obtain the acceptance sampling plan. Then I will discuss some sensory schemes, and then I will give some review on Bayesian sampling plans and obtain the Bayesian sampling plan for generalized type 2 hybrid sensing scheme. Acceptance sampling plan is one of a major component in the field of statistical quality control, and it is used to make decisions regarding products. Acceptance sampling plan do not provide any direct form of the quality control. It simply accept or reject the lots. Acceptance sampling plan help us when the test is destructive or the cost of 100% inspection is extremely high and we cannot afford to observe complete sample. It is also help us in avoiding of releasing a highly defective lots. There are two kinds of acceptance sampling plan: attribute sampling plan and the variable sampling plans. In attribute sampling plan, the quality of the atom is measured by the attribute of the atom, and in variable sampling plan, the quality of the atom is measured on numerical scales. Here we mainly focus on the variable sampling plan. Let's see how variable sampling plans work. Let we have a batch of our atom. We want to accept or reject the batch. So we take a random sample of size n from the batch. We inspect all the atoms in the sample and we obtain the estimated Tx, where Tx is the estimator of theta and theta is the parameter of interest. For example, it can be a mean, peer, quantile, etc. Now, if the estimated Tx belongs to the acceptance region A, we will accept the lot, otherwise we will reject the lot. Decision theoretic approach is one of a way of obtaining the acceptance sampling plan, and it is widely used in the literature because in this the optimal decision is made by maximizing the return or minimizing the loss. So under the decision theoretic approach, for a given observation, we define a decision function as following. If the estimate Tx belongs to the acceptance region A, we will accept the lot by taking a decision 1. Otherwise, we will reject the lot by taking a decision 0, where Tx is the estimate of the parameter of interest and A is the acceptance region. Next, we define a loss function, which is a function of a various cost. For example, it can be a function of a inspection cost, cost on time, acceptance cost, rejection cost, etc. So under this setup, the acceptance sampling plan is defined as the sampling parameter A and the acceptance region A, sampling parameter N and the acceptance region A. So this decision theoretic approach can be used in both classical or Bayesian framework. Here we mainly focus on the Bayesian framework. So to obtain the Bayesian sampling plan, we consider the standard Bayesian approach, where the optimal decision function is determined by minimizing the base risks of the sampling plan for a given loss function among all sampling plans. Constraint scheme is one of a key issue in survival analysis, and it is used in the live testing experiments whenever the test is destructive, lacks time, or the inspection cost of the atom is high. So it means that whenever we want to save time and cost in the experiment, we use the sensory scheme. And in the acceptance sampling plan under decision approach, sensory schemes have also been applied to optimize the different economic factors and cost involved in the experiments. The two basic sensing schemes are type 1 sensing scheme and type 2 sensing scheme. The type 1 sensing scheme is used when we want to save time in the experiment, and the type 2 sensing scheme is used when the test is destructive or the inspection cost is extremely high. So in type 1 sensing scheme, we put n items on a test and we terminate the test at prefixed time tau. And note that here, let m number of failures occur, and m is also a random variable. And it can happen that in type 1 sensing, we cannot observe any failure in the experiment. That means m can be 0 also. In type 2 sensing scheme, we put n items on a test and we terminate the test at Rth failure, where R is less than equal to m. Sometimes we want to save time and cost both in the experiments. So for that case, we can apply type 1 hybrid sensing scheme. In type 1 hybrid sensing scheme, we put n items on a test and we prefix R, which stands for Rth failure, and the sensing time tau. If the Rth failure is before time tau, we terminate the test at Rth failure. And if the Rth failure occurs after time tau, we terminate the test at time tau. So the experiment terminates at time tau star, which is a minimum of Rth failure and tau. This sensing scheme is proposed by Epstein in 1954. Note that in this case also, when the second condition arrives, it can happen that we cannot observe any failure. So to tackle this drawback of type 1 hybrid sensing scheme, Child et al. In 2003 has discussed the type 2 hybrid sensing scheme, in which we put n items on a test and we prefix R, which stands for Rth failure, and the sensing time tau. Now, if the Rth failure occurs before time tau, test at time tau. And if the Rth failure occurs after time tau, we terminate the test at Rth failure. So the experiment is terminated at tau star, which is a maximum of Rth failure and tau. So in this sensing scheme, the advantage is that at least R number of failures can be observed. But the disadvantage is that it might take very long time to observe those R number of failures. So most of the work on the Bayesian sampling plan under sensing schemes are done under the exponential distribution. So here I will discuss the work only for the exponential distribution. So we will assume that the lifetimes are independent and identically distributed as exponential with probability density function as follows. And the mean lifetime is denoted by theta, and which is equal to 1 by lambda in this case. So now we will discuss some literature review of the Bayesian sampling plans, and then I will discuss some limitations of these Bayesian sampling plans. So Lamb in 1990 and in 1994 has developed the Bayesian sampling plan for type 2 sensing scheme and type 1 sensing scheme. And Lin et al. In 2002 observed some drawbacks in Lamb sampling plan and has provided the optimal Bayesian sampling plan for type 1 sensing scheme. Lin et al. In 2002 proposed to use the conditional distribution of maximum likelihood estimator of mean lifetime to obtain the Bayesian sampling plan for type 1 sensing and type 1 hybrid sensing scheme. Note that since they are using the conditional distribution of maximum likelihood estimator, so their Bayesian sampling plan is not the optimal one. So Lin and Yang in 2013 has obtained the optimal Bayesian sampling plan based on the hybrid sensor sample using the approach of Lin et al. In 2002. So now I will discuss some limitations of these sampling plans, Bayesian sampling plans. So for type 1 sensing scheme, Lamb has discussed the Bayesian sampling plan using the quadratic clause function, where he used the maximum likelihood estimator of mean lifetime in decision function to obtain the Bayesian sampling plan. And note that the maximum likelihood estimator of mean lifetime of theta is under type 1 sensing is as follows. And for m equal to 0, the maximum likelihood estimator of mean lifetime does not exist. So using the maximum likelihood estimator, Lamb has constructed the one-sided decision function as follows. If the mean lifetime of the estimator is greater than xi, he will accept the lot by taking a decision 1. Otherwise, he will reject the lot by taking a decision 0. Where the estimator of mean lifetime theta is equal to the maximum likely estimator of mean lifetime theta for m is when m is greater than equal to 1. And for m equal to 0, he has taken the estimator of mean lifetime of theta is equal to n tau, which is the max time, total time on the test. And xi is the minimum acceptable surviving time. Then he considered the loss function, which is as follows, where CS is the inspection cost per item, CR is the rejection cost, and G lambda is the cost due to accepting the batch. Note that the total inspection cost is included in both the cases, whether we accept or reject the lot. It is because whether we accept or reject the lot, we have to make the inspection. And he assumed that the rejection cost is fixed because the products are discarded or returned when they are rejected. And he also assumed that the acceptance cost G lambda will depend on the item's reliability, so it should be positive and decreasing as the mean lifetime increases. So in terms of lambda, G lambda should have to be increasing in lambda, because in the exponential case, the mean lifetime is 1 by lambda. So Lamb has used the following acceptance cost, which is the quadratic polynomial in terms of lambda. And the coefficients are such that this G lambda is positive and increasing in lambda. So under this setup, the sampling plan is defined as follows, which contains the sampling parameter n and xi for the acceptance region, and tau is coming due to the using of type consensus. So the prior distribution of lambda is assumed to be a gamma with hyperparameter a and b. So using this, they have obtained the Bayes rakes, and the Bayesian sampling plan is obtained by minimizing the Bayes rakes with respect to n, tau, and xi. They denote the Bayesian sampling plan by n naught, tau naught, and xi. So in 2002, Lin et al. Has observed that CAM sampling plans have certain drawbacks. They observed that the maximum likelihood estimator has a certain optimal properties, and Bayes decision function based on the natural maximum likelihood estimator is the natural decision function, but this is not a Bayes decision function. And since the cost on the time is also not included in the loss function, so if we take tau tends to infinity, we can observe a complete sample. So we will get a better result in terms of decision rule. So this implies that the Lamb's Bayesian sampling plan is neither optimal or not Bayes. So he included the cost on time in the loss function, and as follows, and where C tau is the additional cost on per unit time. And in this case also, total inspection cost and total cost on time is included in both the cases, whether we accept and reject the lot. Again, here Lin has assumed that the acceptance cost is a quadratic polynomial in terms of lambda, and coefficients are such that this G lambda is positive and increasing in lambda. So under this setup, for a fixed n and tau, they have obtained the Bayes decision function by minimizing the posterior risks. Here Z is the total time of the test. So if the total time of the test is greater than this bound, they will accept the lot by taking a decision 1. Otherwise, they will reject the lot by taking a decision 0. Where this bound DNM is obtained by solving the quadratic equation. Note that when they are using the quadratic polynomial loss function, they have to find the optimal bound, they have to solve the quadratic equation. So if the loss function is higher degree polynomial loss function or a non-polynomial loss function, and obtaining the root of the higher degree polynomial equation or non-polynomial loss equation is not straightforward. So so using this Bayes decision function and the quadratic loss function, they have obtained the Bayes rakes, and the Bayesian sampling plan is obtained by minimizing the Bayes rate with respect to n and tau. So as I said, for a higher degree polynomial loss function, the BSP is not straightforward to obtain, and for a non-polynomial loss function, obtaining the BSP become more complicated. So Prajapati et al. In 2020 has proposed the new decision traumatic sampling plan using the Bayesian approach, which is as good as the Bayesian sampling plan and can be obtained quite easily for the wider class of loss functions. And there are some more work on Bayesian sampling plan for other types of sensing schemes like progressive sensing schemes, interval sensing schemes, and joint sensing schemes also. So now I will discuss the Bayesian sampling plan for generalized type 2 hybrid sensing scheme. This work is recently has published in the Communication in Statistics and Simulation. So before discussing the Bayesian sampling plan for generalized type 2 hybrid sensing scheme, let's see how the generalized type 2 hybrid sensing scheme works. So this sensing scheme is proposed by Chandrasekhar et al. In 2004 to tackle the disadvantage of type 2 hybrid sensing scheme. In type 2 hybrid sensing scheme, we have seen that the advantage is that at least R number of observations are observed. But the disadvantage is that it can take a long time to observe those R number of observations. So Chandrasekhar et al. In 2004 has proposed the generalized type 2 hybrid sensing scheme to overcome the drawback of the type 2 hybrid sensing scheme. So under this, we put n items on a test and we prefix R, which stands for Rth failure, and the sensing time tau1 and tau2, where tau1 is strictly less than tau2. Now, if the Rth failure occurs before time tau1, we terminate time tau1. And if the Rth failure occurs between time tau1 and tau2, we terminate the test at Rth failure. And if the Rth failure occurs after time tau2, we terminate the test at tau2. So here M1 and M2 are the number of failures before tau1 and tau2. And note that if the third condition, whenever the third condition will occur in this sensing scheme, it can happen that we cannot observe any failure. So the maximal likelihood estimator of parameter lambda under type 2 generalized hybrid sensing is given as follows, which is the ratio of m dividing by total time of the test, where tau is the duration of the experiment, m is the number of failure before time tau start, and y, which is a function of n, r, tau1, tau2, and m, is the total time on the test. Note that in this case also, whenever m is equal to 0, the maximal likelihood estimator does not exist. So we have used proposed the suitable estimator of lambda hat as follows. For m2 equal to 0, it takes a value 0, and for m2 strictly greater than 0, it is equivalent to the maximum likelihood estimator. Then we have obtained the distribution function of the lambda hat, which is a convex combination of the distribution of discrete part of the lambda hat and the distribution of absolutely continuous part of the lambda hat. Here P is the probability of when M2 is equal to 0. The absolutely continuous PD of lambda hat under the generalized type 2 hybrid sensing is given as follows, where FSG is the shifted gamma distribution function. So our purpose is to determine the optimal Bayesian sampling plan. So under decision theoretic approach, we have to first define a loss function. Then we have to define a prior on lambda. Then we have to obtain the Bayes decision function. And then we obtain the basics of all the Bayesian sampling plans. And we choose that Bayesian sampling plan which has a minimum basics. So the loss function we have defined is as follows, which is a function of inspection cost, cost on time, rejection cost, acceptance cost, and we have taken the k degree polynomial acceptance cost. And if the item does not fail, it can be reused with the salvage value RS. So the total profit, total salvage value is included in the loss function as a profit. And we know that the efficiency of the estimator play an important role in making a decision. So additionally, we have substitute the cost on the mean square of the lambda, which is CV, to deal with the imprecision in the decision function. This type of concept is used by Bhattacharya, Pradhan, and Diwanji in 2014 to obtain the optimal life testing plan under the hybrid sensing scheme. And note that when CV is 0, this loss function is reduced to the loss function used by Ling and Yang to obtain the optimal Bayesian sampling plan for exponential distribution under hybrid censored sample. And the next we assume that lambda has a gamma prior with following PDF with hyperparameter A and B. So under this setup, the sampling plan is given by N, R, tau 1, tau 2, and delta, where R, tau 1, and tau 2 is coming due to the using of generalized type 2 hybrid sensing scheme. So for a fixed N, R, tau 1, and tau 2, the base risk is given as follows, which includes the total inspection cost, total expected salvage value, and total cost on time, expected cost on time, and total expected cost on mean square error, and plus the decision risks. So here the decision risks can be split. So for a fixed N, R, tau 1, and tau 2, we can see that all the quantities are fixed except the decision risks. So we if the decision risk, if we for a fixed N, R, tau 1, and tau 2, if we minimize the decision risk with respect to delta, then the base risk will be minimized. So next, the decision risk can be written as follows, which can be split into two parts, R1 and R2, where R1 is constant in with respect to delta and R2 is a function of delta. So now if we minimize the R2, the base risk will be minimized. So R2 can be written as follows, where the inner part of the expectation for given X is the posterior risk. So if we minimize this posterior risk, so we will minimize this posterior risk to find the decision function, base decision function, where phi pi is the posterior expectation of G lambda. Note that this posterior risk involved a decision function and the quantity CR minus phi. So there are two conditions, when CR is greater than phi or less than phi. So we have considered the two cases as case 1 and case 2 to minimize this posterior risk. So when phi pi, which is the posterior expectation of acceptance cost, is less than the rejection cost, then when delta is 0, under this condition, when delta is 0, then R2 is positive. And when delta is 1, then R2 is 0. So under this condition, phi pi when less than equal to CR, the R2 is minimized when delta is equal to 1. And in the second condition, when phi pi is strictly greater than CR, then if delta is 0, then R2 is negative. And if delta is 1, then R2 is equal to 0. So under this second condition, the R2 is minimized when delta takes a value 0. So we will take these two cases and we obtain the base decision function, which is as follows. Whenever the phi pi is less than equal to CR, decision function takes the value 1, action 1 to accept the lot. And otherwise, we will reject the lot by taking a decision 0. So using this decision function, we will obtain the optimal Bayesian sampling plan. And using this decision function also minimizes the posterior risk. So the Bayesian sampling plan is given as follows, which is N, R, tau 1, tau 2, and which we denoted by BSP. Since for a fixed N, R, tau 1, and tau 2, we can see that this decision function is not in the closed form. So to find the closed form of the base decision function, we study the monotonicity of the base decision function. So when we will assume that G lambda is positive and increasing function of lambda, and for a given N, R, tau 1, and tau 2, and for a fixed M, we have proved that this phi pi, which is the posterior expectation of acceptance cost, is strictly decreasing in total time of the test. And for fixed total time of the test, this phi pi is strictly increasing in m. So using the first one, we can conclude that the base decision function is non-decreasing in total time of a test when for a fixed m. And for a fixed total time of the test, the base decision function is non-increasing in m. So next we define a set A for a fixed m, which collects all the values of y, which is the total time of the test, where when the of the acceptance region, whenever we are accepting the lot. So whenever phi pi is less than equal to CR, we will collect all the values of y. Okay. So we define, then next we define a T script m, which is the infimum of this set if am is non-empty. Otherwise, this T script m is equal to infinity. So using the lemma 2 and the definition of the set A, we define the lemma, we have obtained the lemma 3, which is as follows. Now, if Tm is equal to T script m is equal to infinity, which implies that the set Am is empty, which implies that phi pi is always strictly greater than CR for all values of y. And if Tm is equal to 0, then phi pi is for all values of y, this phi pi is strictly less than CR. And if Tm lie between 0 to infinity, then when Tm lie between 0 to infinity, we know that Tm is the infimum of this set Am. So whenever we take a smaller any value of y, which is less than Tnm, our phi pi is always greater than CR. And if we take any y which is greater than Tnm, our phi pi is always strictly less than CR. And at the point at Tnm, this phi pi is equal to CR. So we have observed that our base decision function is we accept the lot when phi pi is less than equal to CR, which is equivalent to of saying that y is greater than equal to this bound, which is y is where y is the total time on the test. So total time of the test is greater than equal to this bound when implies that the phi pi is less than equal to CR. And we have also proved that if D is the collection of those set where AM is non-empty, then T script M is strictly increasing in for M, which belongs to D. So using this lemma, we can define a base decision function as follows. Whenever the total time of the test is greater than this bound, we will accept the lot. Otherwise, we will reject the lot. Therefore, m equal to 0, this bound is equal, and for m greater than equal to 1, this bound is equal to minimum of T script n and n tau, where n tau is the maximum total time of the test. And next we have written this base decision function in the form of the estimator lambda hat, which is as follows. For m greater than equal to greater than equal to 1, this C is takes the value this, and for m equal to 0, this C is equal to n tau minus T naught. So writing in the form of the lambda hat give advantage in calculation of the base rates, since we know the distribution function of the lambda hat. So for a fifth degree, for a quadratic and fifth degree loss function, we have obtained the optimal Bayesian sampling plan, and we observe that for k greater than equal to 5, if the closed form of the Bayesian function cannot be obtained. So we have proposed a numerical approach to discuss to achieve the closed form of the Bayesian function for any arbitrary loss function. And then we have obtained the exact expression of base rates, and we have observed that is the function of the PSP. So, and the exact expression of base rates is quite complicated, so we are not including here. And next, the optimum BSP is obtained by minimizing the base risk with respect to N, R, tau 1 and tau 2. So note that it is a 4-dimensional minimization problem where N and R are discrete values and tau 1 and tau 2 takes a continuous value. So for we have proved that optimum value of N and R are bounded above, where by this theorem, where optimum value of NB is bounded by this quantity and RB is bounded by optimum value of NB. So as we have know that N and R are optimum value of N and R are bounded above. So for a fixed N and R, we draw the contour plot with respect to tau 1 and tau 2 of the base risks. And we can see that with respect to tau 1 and tau 2, the base risk has a unique minima. So the optimum BSP can be obtained by using the optimum function in R quite easily. So these are some numerical results for quadratic loss function, where the base decision function can be obtained analytically. And these are the some coefficients and costs which we use to obtain these optimal Bayesian sampling plans. So from the table we can see for a fixed coefficients and cost, as we vary the hyperparameter A and B, we have obtained the Bayesian sampling plan. So we can see from the table, as A is fixed and when B is increasing, the base risk decreases. It is happening because whenever A is fixed and B increases, the mean lifetime increases. So when the mean lifetime increases, the base risk should have to be decreased. Similarly, when B is fixed and A increases, our mean lifetime decreases, which implies that base risk should has to be increased. So this behavior can be seen from the table. So in the next, for a fixed A and B and these sets of coefficients, we vary the inspection cost. And as the inspection cost increases, we can see that the base risk increases and the optimal value of N and R also increases and decreases. Next, we have varied the cost on mean square error to find the optimal Bayesian sampling plan. And we can see that as the cost on mean square error increases, our optimal value of N and R increases, and the base risk also increases. And at last, we have varied the rejection cost and obtain the optimal sampling plan. We can see that as the rejection cost increases, the base risk increases, and the optimal value of N and R also increases. Next, we have obtained the numerical result for fifth degree polynomial loss function, where the base decision function cannot be obtained analytically. So we have used the numerical approach to obtain the base decision function. So for these sets of coefficients and cost, we again vary the hyperparameter A and B to obtain the optimal Bayesian sampling plan. So again, also for a fixed A, as B increases, the base risk decreases. And for a fixed B, as A increases, the base risk increases. And when A and B are fixed and the inspection cost increases, the base risk increases and the optimal value of N and R decreases. And in the last table, when the cost on the mean square error increases, we can see that the optimal value of N and R increases and the base risk increases. So, thank you.
Any questions? So if there are none, Thanks, Deepak.
Thank you.
Let's all of us thank the speaker. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
So anyone wants to say anything, or we may close the session?